Welcome back, students. We left the previous chapter while we talked about servers, and I introduced you to the client-server model. In this session, I'll delve a little deep into this. In the client-server model, there are certain things that happen on the server side and certain things that take place on the client side. Based on our last lecture, I hope you follow when I say server and client side. If you don't, please go back and take the last lecture again. For the certain things that happen on the server side, we write server-side code, and for things that happen on the client side, we write client-side code. We'll understand a bit about this now. So as you can see, server-side scripting is a technique used in web development which involves employing scripts on a web server which produce a response customized for each user which is also called as clients, request to the website. Take the example of Facebook. If you and one of your friends are logged into Facebook, when you both open facebook.com, different web page with different content, that is newsfeed in Facebook's case, opens up. This means that the server of Facebook has customized the page based on the user which is accessing it. It is one of the examples of what happens on the server side. Once the server side creates the code for the web page, it sends the same to the client, and the browser starts building the web page based on that code. Now coming to the definition, program that runs on the client machine or browser and deals with the user interface or display and any other processing that can happen on client's machine like reading/writing cookies actually forms the client-side code. So basically, as you can see from our Facebook example, there are a few things that are happening on the server side and a few things that are happening on the client side. Server is creating custom web pages for different users and is sending it to the client, whereas the client takes that code and builds a web page out of it. The code which goes to the client and on the basis of which the client makes the display of the page is called client-side code. In this course, we are mostly going to cover client-side code as HTML, CSS and JavaScript, which we are going to talk about, are mostly used for that purpose. And these are the most basic requirement for building a website. If you want to read more about client-server model, although not required for this course, you just do a simple Google search and you will find tons of articles about it. But if you find it difficult to understand about this client-server model, you can listen to this lecture again, and if you still find it confusing, then just follow along with this course and it will become clear to you when we start writing client-side code.